Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to do this month's Ask Me a Question. Ask Me a Question is a combination of two things. The word mask, because we are gonna mask together, and I encourage you to mask with me while we watch this video. Somebody said they did that last time, and I think that's so cute. So please, go grab your face mask, and we can mask together and have a relaxing video together, a spa night. The second part of that is ask me a question. So I kind of stole the ask off of the word mask. Ask me a question. Whatever you ask in the comments down below for this video will be in next month's Ask Me a Question. So I'm going to answer as many questions as I can from last month's video. I will probably miss some because YouTube reorders my comments somehow. So I'm gonna try to get every single question, but I missed some last time as well. So if I do miss your question, it's not on purpose because I am trying to answer every possible question. You can ask questions about anything that you would like, but it's not gonna get answered for a month. Sometimes I get like a FabFitFun question, like, what do you think about this thing in the add-on sale? It's gonna not be the add-on sale by the time that I answer it. I might, if I see it, I might answer it in your comment because I do like to respond to every comment that I can. So I might answer it there if that is your question, but it should be a question that you're okay waiting a month to answer. We do it on the last video that I post for the month. This one's gonna be a little different because it's October, and October 31st, I have a special announcement video that is gonna post. So this will go up on October 30th. So the first question was actually asked by 3 people. The first one was Morgan Dupuy, and she said, if you could travel to any country, what would you choose? So the second person that asked, Elizabeth Ortega, she actually asked multiple questions, but this was one of her questions. If you could travel by plane, where would you fly and why? And then MEG also asked the exact same question. If you could travel to anywhere in the world, where would it be? I think I must have talked about travel in that video to have 3 people ask me a travel question. So I have been to my dream country already. My dream country is Japan. And I had the time of my life. I got to go for a little bit more than 2 weeks for a birthday. It was my birthday. And if I could travel again, I feel like I would probably choose that because it was just the best experience ever. Like, I wish I would have maybe appreciated it more. So I would like to do it again with my new appreciation for even getting to travel. But this year I did have a trip canceled. I was supposed to go to Bali with my best friend, and it was in April. We were gonna go in April for spring break, and we did not go. So I think that it would be a close tie between the two because I am really sad that I didn't go to Bali. And then I also would just like to go to Japan again just because it's sad that I can't go again, you know? Like right now I'm really bummed that I can't go. It was literally the best experience ever, and I just love Japanese culture so much, and I've talked about that on this channel before. Hopefully we can postpone it to next year, but it's not looking good, you guys. Next spring break is not looking good. So I really hope that we can travel again, but those are definitely the 2 places that are next on my list. Even though I've been to Japan before, I definitely need to do it again. So I think we have all of my makeup off. It's hard to get all my eye makeup off because I like to use an oil-based remover, and I was just using my Tarte Micellar water, which I am obsessed with. The first mask I'm gonna do is the 24 Gold mask. It's Pure Luxury Lift and Fur Mask from Thomas Roth. I always get this around the holiday time because you can get little sets of Thomas Roth masks, like little baby sets, either of 3 masks or 6 sets as a discount, because this is a pretty pricey company, but I love all of their masks. So I thought I would bring it up now because there will be holiday masks for this brand soon. And they'll just be little sets that help you get it a tad bit cheaper, because buying one of these, I think it's pricey for the amount of ounces you get in this mask container. So while we apply this, the next question is from Melanie Hamblin, and she asked, do you dye your hair yourself, and what products do you use to care for it? I did not used to dye my hair myself, but when we went on quarantine, I decided to try that, and I actually did it on my channel. We bleached the bottom of my hair, dip dyed it, and then it looked really, really bad. I do not know how to use bleach. I knew it was gonna not look good. I never thought that it was gonna look great. And even the whole video, you can tell that I knew that like this could be a mess. But I applied Overtone to it, and I've been applying Overtone ever since. Overtone is a color depositing conditioner. So it is a very rich conditioner. It's actually one of my favorite things I've ever purchased. I also buy their conditioner that doesn't have color in it. It's just like a deep conditioning treatment. And I added that over where I bleached, and it really made it look fine. Like you can see at the end of the video, somehow Overtone saved me. So I really appreciate that. Only care for my hair with Overtone. It is a little bit dry right now, and the only reason is because we are trying to get all this color out. You can see how red it is, and I haven't put Overtone in it in about a month. Yeah, I think it's been about a month since I put Overtone in it. I'm trying to fade it as much as possible because I want to do a different hair look where we kind of like transition from black to burgundy to red to orange to yellow, kind of like fire. And I just felt like there's no better time than to do that right now. I never am a proponent for doing your hair yourself. It does save you a ton of money, but I have seen so many disasters, and I've seen people's hair like fall off. We were on quarantine, and I thought the worst thing that can happen is I have to chop all my hair off. And I dip dyed it, so I didn't really ruin anything in the top. So for that, I recommend it. If you want to try dip dyeing your hair, do it, because if you screw it up, you'll just have a short haircut for a while. So yes, I do my own hair, but I've only done it once until the next video, where we will do it again and we will have a fire head. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be my fire head. And hopefully it looks really cool. I've seen so many pictures of it looking really cool, but I have no skills. So it could be a terrible mess. And if that's the case, then I will get views for it being a fail. This mask has such a like luxurious feel. I think it actually has gold in it. It says 24 karat gold. Like I think it might actually have a little bit of gold in it. Yep, pure 24 karat gold. Can't be that much, but that's cool for me. And it just feels so good. Like they're just a mask that like it feels rich on your face. That's how this feels. You only leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes. So we're gonna answer some questions while I have it on this face. The next question was from D. Salend or DSA Lend. I don't know. I don't know what it could be an abbreviation for, but the question is, do you still sell Senegens, and what was your experience with them? So I guess if you have looked back at some of my very early videos, the first time I did videos was so that I could show how to use Senegens products to create Halloween looks or easy Halloween looks. I never meant to get into direct sales. I just really loved the product and I wanted to buy 25 of them, and that signing up is an easy way to get a discount for yourself. So originally I signed up to get a discount for myself. Turns out that when I love something, I just talk about it a lot, and then everybody wanted some. So I actually had a good experience. I don't think a lot of people have good experience with direct marketing or like direct sales companies. I recruited 5 people, but 4 of them came to me and asked to be recruited. And then one person was my sister, and I supported her the whole time so that she could make extra money while she was in college. So I would even help her like with her orders or anything like that. If she didn't have a color, I would ship it out for her. So it was really just a way for me to help her out to make money without having to get a full-time job. So technically I recruited one person by asking them to, but I do not like the whole direct sales recruiting thing, and that's not why I joined. So my experience is different than I think the typical person that gets in it, because I think the typical person that gets in it wants to make money, and I was not trying to make money. I feel like that's why I did make money, is because I wasn't trying to make money, because I didn't like over order. I knew so many people that were just constantly ordering even though they didn't have sales, and I don't think that's the right way to do it. I didn't really make a huge profit on it, and even when I was doing it and I was making profit, it wasn't a living wage. Like I had my regular job and I just made a little bit of side income with it. And that's why I wanted it for my sister as well, so that she had a little bit of side income and wouldn't have to take on as many student loans while she was in college. So I feel like everyone's experience with direct sales is different. I have never really liked the idea of direct sales, and I'm not trying to hate on anybody in specific, but I have seen a lot of people that invest way too much money and get themselves into debt because of it. So because of that, I was never really on board. And I just really wanted my lipstick cheaper. It's still the only lipstick. I mean, I use like 3 or 4 lipstick brands, and that happens to be one of them, but I'm no longer associated with the brand. I removed all my links, I think, from past videos. If you still see a link, it will take you nowhere anyways. And I don't know, I wouldn't do it again. That was my experience. It was good, but it definitely wasn't great income. And for me, it was fun, and that's why I did it. I was taking care of somebody who was very sick, and everything I did was for that person. So it was kind of something that I did for me to get to play with makeup and like go to friends' houses and show them everything. So for me, it happened to be the right thing I needed at that time in my life, but I would probably never do it again. The next question is actually a really good question for right now. It is from Nikki AK, and it said, do you have any tips to get the best experience with FabFitFun? Bonus marks if you have suggestions for international customers. So that's the first question. And I have a lot of tips actually, and I feel like I should do an entire video just on those tips. But I'll give you like the top ones right now. The first one is join the FabFitFun community and be very active in it. I love going in there. There's people answering questions about every product in the add-on sale. Literally everything you can think of that has to do with FabFitFun. I get more answers from the community than I do from FabFitFun customer service because it's just easier. There's like hundreds or thousands of us on, and we can just answer the question right away. So I love the community so much. If you found me in the community, you probably already are in the community, but if you didn't find me that way, then for sure connect with me there. You can follow people there, and it's the same name at Everything Proof. And then my second tip would be to follow Katie Kitchens on Instagram. She posts a lot of photos that are spoilers. In fact, she was in the Summer and Rose robe like a couple weeks ago before it was announced as a spoiler. So she also has stuff on her story that are spoilers, like you could see purses or different things that end up coming out in the box. I think she had the Draper and James straw tote. She also used to do, but hasn't done it lately, this or that. Anytime she does this or that, that is gonna be in the box. So it's a way to actually get your spoilers a little bit earlier. And they're not official spoilers, but you can kind of tell that they're spoilers because it looks like she's like really showing a product in her pictures. So if you don't follow her, definitely follow her. My third tip would be make sure you get the FabFitFun app. There is a FabFitFun app if you go to the App Store. Sometimes the website is down, whether that's for customizing your box or for doing add-ons, but you can do it on the app. Try the app, and actually on the app there was even like a secret bonus. I don't remember how many sales ago it was, but if you spent a certain amount in the sale, you could also add a free product, and it ended up being like an Aveda hair thing for the $30 product. But I love it, it worked really good. So there are kind of secret things like that. If you have the app and if you have the community tab, you're like really in the loop. You know what I'm saying? And then my fourth tip is anytime I do customer service, I use the chat feature on FabFitFun. They answer right away. Usually it's someone in a different country, and sometimes they say, we have to like have corporate email you, but I get emailed faster than if I just try to email FabFitFun customer service. So I always use the chat app, even though it's messy and like not the best. They usually have pretty good answers, and every once in a while if I'm having like a problem with my account, they have to forward me to the FabFitFun like main corporate to email me back, and that does take a little bit longer, but I still think I get emailed quicker than if I emailed that email myself. And sorry, I don't get those bonus points because I am not an international customer, so I don't have suggestions for international customers. But if you join the community, my first suggestion, there is a little area for international customers where you can get all kinds of suggestions for international customers. And then Nikki AK has a second question: what skincare products can you not live without? And that is a hard question. For sure, my Tatcha Camellia cleansing oil. That removes my makeup like nothing else, and it just feels so good on my skin, and it's just so gentle and so nice. I have very oily skin, but that type of oil, the Camellia seed oil or whatever it's called, really works for my oily skin at balancing my skin. So that one is one. I cannot live without it. I constantly have that on reorder from Sephora. Also the Murad Skin Perfecting Lotion. That is always constantly on reorder. It's my favorite moisturizer. Recently, the Sunday Riley, what's it called? I don't know. It's the retinol, Sunday Riley Retinol A+, maybe, something like that. I just got it in BoxyCharm and I already know that when I'm done with that bottle, I'm gonna get it again. It's the best retinol I've ever used. So it has now become one that I need a constant supply of. And the mask that I'm not doing today, but that I cannot live without, is my 111 Skin Mask. Again, a very expensive mask. I get it mostly in the sales. I have not purchased it from 111 Skin myself, but if I had to purchase it at full price, I would purchase it at full price. I don't want to. So FabFitFun can just keep supplying me, or BoxyCharm can just keep supplying me with the discounted versions of that mask. I will love them forever. It's one of the perks of being in these subscription boxes, is you can shop these sales and get like some of your favorite products at a good price. I wish I had a budget-friendly item to give you. I do use a lot of budget-friendly skincare, but they are things that I feel like I could live without. So we're talking about the ones that I can't live without, and the ones that I can't live without, unfortunately, are kind of expensive, but luckily we can get them in sales. So if you see those in sales and you have oily skin, because I have oily skin, then try them. The next one is from Elizabeth Ortega. And actually, she had 3 questions. One, we already answered, the travel question. But the other was, what type of brand name clothes do you like to wear? I buy a lot of my clothes from the boutique nanomax.com, and I buy a lot of my clothes from Urban Outfitters. Those are probably the places that I buy most often. I also really like Free People. It's kind of got like a little bit of a hippie vibe. So I don't like all of their stuff, but I do, it's just a little bit different. So I do like that. Nanomax is probably the most reasonable priced of the 3, but I'm a sale shopper. So I wait for things to go on sale. Even if it is winter clothes and it's going on sale because it's summer, then I'll buy it and I'll just wear it next winter. So I pretty much never buy anything. I never buy any of the clothes you see me wear for full price. Ever. Usually it's on a sale rack or clearance and I'm getting like the best deal I possibly can, and that is the way that I shop. So I can shop a little bit more expensive brands because I'm sale shopping all the time. I have a really good favorite boutique in San Diego too. It's called Dream Girls, and they have a website. I'll actually list all of these down in the description below, because all 4 of them, you can go to their website and see what kind of clothes they have. And Elizabeth's next question is, are you a car driver, truck driver, or SUV driver? So right now I am a car driver, but I really want to be an SUV driver. Every time I rent a car, I rent an SUV. So I used to travel for work a lot, or I used to travel in general a lot, but every time that I could rent a car, I always rented an SUV. It just makes me feel safer. I don't know, I don't really drive that much when I'm home. My work, even though I'm working from home now, is actually only like 10 minutes from my house. So pretty much I just go to work and back, and I'm kind of a homebody, so I don't drive very much. And I hate driving on the freeway. I live in the Los Angeles area. I live in Los Angeles County. All the freeways are terrible. We don't have not one good freeway. Unfortunately, I was gonna buy a car this year because I paid off my student loans this year and I got my puppies and I really wanted to get them a yard, so I ended up buying a house. So my car was gonna have to wait for a while, but I really want an electric car because it's better for the environment, and those are really pricey anyways. So I could use up 6 feet. I call her 6 feet, that's her name, my car. It's a weird name, but her name is 6 feet. And I can use her up until she dies, until her last days. So we are gonna be a car driver for a while, but we want to be an SUV driver one day. One sweet day. The next question is from Bob the Raptor and Joe, and Bob the Raptor and Joe have the like funniest YouTube channel ever, because they are raptors that are reviewing human things. So they review human food and human toys too, I believe, like figurines. I don't think they would call them toys. So nerd collectible things. It's at the top of my head. I'm a nerd too, so I'm not trying to hate, but like little collectibles, they have some of those on their channel as well. The question from the Raptors is, where do I live in California? So I live in Southern California in Los Angeles County. And then what is your favorite restaurant? That is a really hard question. Actually, I would say my favorite restaurant is, oh my gosh, I love so many restaurants. When I eat out, I like to eat seafood. And the best seafood I've ever had is from GW Finn's in New Orleans. And oh, I crave it all the time. I wish I lived in New Orleans just so I could have it all the time, but I would probably be so broke because it's a very expensive place. But every time I have visited, I go there. So it's that good. It's so good. If you're ever there, I highly recommend it. It is pricey, but it's the best fish you will ever put in your mouth. Guaranteed. So I'm gonna say that's my favorite restaurant because if I could fly out any food to myself, that is the food I would fly out to myself. And then the Raptors asked one more question, and then we're gonna take this mask off because I said I was going to, and then I never did. So they said, are there any dinosaurs in my neighborhood? Unfortunately, no, there are no dinosaurs in my neighborhood. We have a very human neighborhood here. It's really unfortunate. I would love to meet you guys though. I would love to meet some raptors. So I'm gonna wash this off, and I know what the next question is, and it's good timing that I'm washing it off because the next question is a very specific question. I'm actually gonna ask it before we wash it off. The question is from Catherine McCarty. First she said, we need more puppy time. And then she was like, shoot, that's not a question. So then she said, can we see the puppies? So I will be back with a clean face and the puppies. Okay, we're back. And I have some puppies. I'm also super wet from washing my face off. And they are cute fighting behind me. So here you go, Catherine. Here's some cute puppies. This is Cappuccino. He is getting to be a big boy for sure. So Catherine wanted to see you, buddy. Say hi to Catherine. Hi, Catherine. This is Cannoli. She is very sweet. Her brother is a biter, and she is a fighter. Like, she is alpha, and she will knock him to the ground, but he, like, really bites hard. So I don't know how she puts up with it, but she does, and she is just like a little champ. She's definitely the alpha, though. There are the puppies. I'm gonna let them kind of like do their thing behind me for the next question, and then I'll take them back to their little playroom. The next thing I'm gonna use are these Watermelon Burst Hydrating Eye Patches from Ciate, London. I've never used these before, so we're gonna use them together for the first time. They are made in Korea, so they're K-Beauty. Oh my gosh, they're so cute, actually. These are really, really cute. They totally look like watermelon slices. Oh my gosh, has anybody ever used these before? Goodness, I love them. Okay. So they have like a gel side, and then the watermelon side is the other side. So the jelly side is what's gonna go on. How cute. These would be so fun for like a girls' night in the middle of summer. If we could have girls' nights again, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so we have our eye patches on, and we will answer a couple more questions. The next question is another question from MEG. So first she asked, where would I travel if I could travel anywhere? So we already answered that. And then the second question he asked is, where's your favorite place you visited, US or abroad? So let's start with US. US, my two favorite cities I've ever been to are Seattle and New Orleans. I love them both, mostly for the food, but also just for the culture and like the music vibe and everything. Both of them have like very different music styles, but they're very like music cities, coffee cities, and food cities. The food is so good. This is why I can't film with them, because they do this the whole time. They love to play. This is why I can't film with them. See what you did, Catherine? Okay. Favorite places that I visited abroad is Hamburg, Germany, and then Kyoto, Japan. I loved everything in Japan, but Kyoto just felt so special to me. It had more of like the traditional vibe, and going through the geisha district and all of that. If you could only see one city in Japan, that is the city I would see. And I saw several, and that is the city that I would recommend. And then Hamburg, Germany, I actually studied abroad there for a little bit, and it was so amazing and so beautiful and so clean, and just the people were so kind. The next question is from Sandra Renteria, and she asked, if you were to only wear one makeup product, what would it be? And that is so hard, because I would say it's lips and lashes. So I have to have mascara and lipstick, and I never left my house without those things. I guess if I could wear lash extensions and not count that as a makeup product, then I just need lipstick. Or if I'm wearing my mask, because now we have to wear masks, then I only need mascara. I don't know. You can't get me down to one. Sorry. I'm sorry, Sandra. I feel like Cappuccino is just trying to make this bed as comfortable as possible. He's like now brought both the pillows down. Do you want to go back down to your bed? Hi, baby. The next question is from Angela Hines, and she said, what is your favorite coffee at Starbucks? My favorite coffee at Starbucks is the pumpkin cream cold brew. It is seasonal, so I can't get it all the time. When I can't get that, I just get the nitro cold brew. It has no like flavor, but it's super smooth because it has the nitro. I don't know. They pull it out of a thing that looks like a beer thing and it just like, what's nitro? I don't even know what nitro is, but it makes the coffee super smooth, and that's what I drink when I don't have the pumpkin cold brew on the menu. When the pumpkin cold brew is on the menu though, that's all I get. Okay, I'm gonna take him downstairs because he's crying now, so I feel like he might actually need to go to the bathroom. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna say, let me fix all my pillows. They went a little crazy up here, and move some of these dog toys out of the camera view. I'm gonna say that I don't recommend these. They're not that comfortable. Like the top part of the watermelon, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but it's kind of scratching my eye. So be careful when you apply these. Maybe apply them a little lower. The next question is from Amanda Beth. She has a hilarious channel and she just does funny makeup review videos, but she is so funny. So check out her channel if you're interested. And she said, have you ever been to Canada? That is another trip that got canceled this year. I was supposed to go to Canada in, I think, last month, September, but we were going to drive up to Canada and do like a massive road trip, me and my best friend, my other best friend, my high school best friend. We met freshman year of high school, and I were going to drive up to Canada and go to Canada for the first time ever. We did not get to go because you guys closed your border to us. How long do I have to leave these on? I really don't like the way they feel. 15 to 20 minutes. It has only been 12 minutes. We're gonna just give it 3 more minutes. Okay. This next one is from Sherry Freilich, and it says, if you could live anywhere else other than California, where would it be? These are really starting to bother me. I think we're gonna take them off. We're gonna take them off for this question because they're not comfortable. They were kind of, this like paper part was rubbing up against my eye, and I can't imagine that that's good for my eye. Do not recommend, do not get these. We have one more mask, but I'm gonna actually answer that question before we do it. So I love living in California, but I thought my whole life, I thought that I was gonna go to college in a state other than my state. Turns out that if you're a California resident, tuition is not, it's very high if you go out of state, but if you are in California, you kind of get like a little bit of a discount when you go to the schools. To get that in-state tuition, I did do both my undergrad and my master's here. I still have law school, so there's still an opportunity that I can go to college. Law school, it takes a while too, so it'd be a good amount of years that I could spend in a different state and experience a different state. I've always wanted to live on the East Coast. I don't even have a real reason why, I guess just because I've always lived on the West Coast, and the East Coast is the opposite of the West Coast, so that totally makes sense, right? And I've always wanted to experience seasons. I don't know that I would love for it to snow where I live forever, but I think it's so beautiful and so fun, and I guess that's just because I visit it and I don't live in it, because a lot of people that live in the snow don't love it. And it doesn't snow here literally ever. I have to go to the mountains if I want to see snow. And I just have the same temperature, 60 to 80. My leaves don't change colors. It doesn't look beautiful. Like fall looks the same to me as pretty much any other season. I do feel like I want to experience that once in my life, but I don't think that I want to live there forever. But I would pick somewhere on the East Coast. So maybe like Virginia or North Carolina or something like that. If I go to law school over there, then the law school choices are, like I'd have to pick New York or Boston if I could get into Harvard. North Carolina has Duke, but I don't really want to go to Duke because I'm a UNC basketball fan, and I just feel like I couldn't live with myself if I ever went to Duke. And I have always said as well that I will retire in Oregon or Washington. That's still West Coast, but it's like driving through the forest every time I go up there. So for me, I just love it. I love how naturey everything is up there and beautiful. Like you could drive down a highway and you literally feel like you're driving through the forest down the highway. So I don't know. I'm nature obsessed. So any place that has a lot of that, I'm down for that. I want all the forests. This is a brand new one. It is the Belief Aqua Bomb Sleeping Mask. So I can leave it on and go to bed after this. It is late at night when I'm filming this. So this is gonna add a lot of moisture into my skin. I didn't even use a clay mask, but if I did use a clay mask, I always put on something like this, like a moisture mask after or a sheet mask after. This time we did the gold firming mask instead, but we can do both. We can still add some moisture here. And let me read through the last of these questions. So the next one is from Karen F. And I think she has a little bit more than one. The first one says, my question for next time are, what was the best life advice someone has ever given you? And I am the type of person who has a ton of lists and a like 5-year plan and 10-year plan. So the best advice I ever got was not to rush to the end of your life. You need to like slow down and enjoy the steps to get there. And I have never done that very well, and I'm still trying to learn how to do it, but I feel like we all are rushing, right? We're just rushing to the next thing. Like the next thing I have to do is get married, and then the next thing I have to do is have a baby, and the next thing I have to do is this for my career. And I just feel like a lot of the little moments that you could just stop and appreciate get lost along the way for that. Definitely, I would slow down more, and I have learned to slow down a lot, but I still go a million miles a minute. But I am trying to get better at it, and at least I'm aware that that's how I am, and that's my personality, and that I am missing some of life's precious moments because I am looking at the next moment before I finish this one. That was the best advice that I ever got, because it did change my perspective, even though my personality hasn't changed too much and I'm still going a million miles a minute, but I am trying, and I feel like that's important, and hopefully I'll get there one day where I can really just like relax and just live in that particular moment and not think about the next moment. So the next question is, when interviewing someone, what is your favorite question to ask? I would say I have 2 questions that I love to hear the responses to. One is, dream as big as you possibly can, and what does that dream look like for you? And then the second question, it's a really dumb question, but it's just different, and it's, if you were a road sign, what road sign would you be? You know, a lot of times people ask like, what's your best traits and what's your worst traits, or how would so-and-so describe you, like your manager describe you, and all of that. And like, those are just kind of questions that people expect, but this is a very unexpected question when I interview someone, like, what is your road sign? So actually, let's see in the comments. I want you guys to ask questions in the comments, but if you have got to this part of the video, what road sign do you think you would be? What is your road sign? The next question is from Elvia Ramirez, and she said, in the spirit of Halloween, and happy Halloween guys, because this is posting the day before Halloween, what is your favorite horror movie? I have an anxiety disorder, and I feel like I'm always on edge. Like, even if someone walks behind me in the kitchen, I like scream. I'm just always on edge because that's just how I'm literally in fight and flight mode all the time. Even though I've got used to it, it's so easy to scare me, and it's so easy for me to develop phobias. I actually have several phobias that I've actually been to a therapist for, because one tiny thing scares me about it, and then my brain like makes it as big as it possibly can, and then I can't function. An example, and this is like a really scary example, but in one of my places that I worked, somebody died in an elevator. The elevator malfunctioned and somebody died in an elevator. And I could not ride elevators for like 2 years after that. And it was a really big company. So we never crossed paths. We never had to cross paths, but it didn't get out of my head. And I wouldn't even be able to like walk past an elevator because I would just like freak out over it. And I saw people at my job getting up and down the elevator while I would take stairs like as many floors as I could, because there's just no way that I could ride it. So for me, horror movies, I have to be really careful, because if I watch the wrong one, it can give me nightmares for like the rest of my life. But I do really like the ones that make you think, that are more like detective-y, if that makes any sense, like more like thrillers versus like bloody gore ones, like Hannibal or Red Dragon. Those were more like thinking and like solving, even though they're definitely super scary, and I am very scared of them, but I would much rather watch something like that than like a chainsaw one where people are just getting like, oof, I don't know. It's like making my heart race a little bit thinking about it. Next, we have some questions from Jen Graham, and she has 3. First is, top 3 favorite eye mask gels. Okay. For sure, the black hyaluronic under ones. I wore those, I think, 2 videos ago, or was it last video? No, last Mask Me a Question. That is probably my #1 choice. P.S. I hate these. These are just getting gone. I do like the 111 skin mask ones, but I don't think they're worth their price. Even the price in FabFitFun sales, like I think they're still pretty expensive. So I do love those though, so I would definitely put that on there. I'm trying to think of a third one that I really love. I guess the Tula ones are pretty good. I would definitely put those up there. So we'll say those 3, and I will link those 3 down below. Then she asked, what are your top 3 sheet masks and why? I really like gel sheet masks. So my number one favorite sheet mask is the 111 Skin Rose Gold Brightening Mask. It's actually the only sheet mask that I really love from 111 Skin though. I've used some of their other ones and they're good, but they're not like, oh my gosh, amazing. That one, I can see results right away. My skin is so much brighter right away. And then I would say the Tula mask. There's like a Tula gel mask that has little stars all over it. I love that mask, and it's 2 pieces. So it just like fits your face so perfect. Definitely would say that's my second favorite. And then for my third favorite, it's a mask called Mantra Mask. And it is a CBD mask that has a ton of witch hazel in it, so it does not smell the best, but it works so good for my acne. Like if I put that mask on, the next day my acne is gone. It really, really works. So if I'm ever like breaking out like crazy breakouts, like I'm just having so much stress that it just breaks out my whole face, I grab one of those masks because it's like literally a miracle mask. I love it. I don't even know if I know how to answer. I don't even know if I'll know an answer for this question, but it said, what is your favorite 1980s movie? If Ferris Bueller's Day Off is an 80s movie, then that is probably my favorite. If it's, I guess I can Google if it's an 80s movie. Give me 1 second. Okay, it says 1986, so that counts, and that is my favorite. I think that's my favorite. I don't know what I've seen in the 80s. Okay, we are very close to the end, so there's 2 more people. The next one is from Jody, and her question is, oh, this is a very specific question, and I feel like maybe I answered her question via email, but she was talking about the Adagio blowout brush that was in the FabFitFun sale. So we had like an extended sale. This is what I'm saying. Like sometimes I get these questions and I need to answer them right away. So if you ask a question right now about something in the add-on sale, I'll have to answer it right away. She said, is the Adagio blowout brush, like, do I think it's worth it? And I totally do. It's the only thing I use now to blow dry my hair. I love it. It's so much easier. You just hold it and perfection. So much faster than blowing it out like with a normal blow dryer. Then the last person that asked questions actually just asked questions yesterday. So you just got in time, Susan. This is from Susan and says, first question, with all the beauty products in our subscription boxes, how do you figure out the order in which to use these products on your face? A lot of times it says it on the product, like it'll say on a clean, dry face means right after your cleanser, or it'll say like after a moisturizer or before you moisturize. Another thing is molecular weight. So you want the thickest product above the smallest product, so the smallest product can get deep in your pores. So a lot of times anything with hyaluronic acid, I put that on before I put on like a thicker moisturizer on top. Then it also absorbs that moisturizer in my face. It is kind of hard actually. I would say the way that I would do it is cleansers, then serums, because usually the serums are going deeper into your skin, then anti-hyaluronic, anything that has sodium hyaluronate in it, then moisturizer, then sunscreen. That's the order that I would put it in. And if you use a toner, I would use the toner after cleansing. I don't use toners very much, so yeah, I probably should, but I just don't. The second question, and somebody asked me this question on Instagram today too. How do you keep all your skincare and makeup products organized? It is not easy. I get a lot of samples, so the one thing that I do for that is I have a little sample container. I don't know why I put that in quotation marks. It's actually a sample container. It's a container full of samples, and I guess it should be like sample stash or something like that. I don't know. I wanted to use floating quote marks. I never know when to use those, and I know if you guys have seen my videos, you've seen me use them at like really weird times. Apparently I don't know when to use them, I just like using them. I keep that little sample stash and I try to force myself to use one of those samples every single day or else I would never get through all my samples. So that is a trick to get rid of your samples, is make it a requirement. Like you're sitting there on your vanity and that you have to take one. Then the other thing that I do is I have an IKEA desk and I use things I put things in the order that I use them. So like skincare and masks are over here, and then under that would be like foundations and concealers, and then under that would be powders like blush, highlight, and what's the other thing? Bronzer, contour. So I just put them in the order that I would use them, so then I can open the drawers in order and get to what I need. And then I do have like a backstock, which is just, you know those cubes that have just 6 squares and you put little baskets in them. You can get it at Ikea, you can get them at Target. They're just like the cube organizers. I have one of those that has my backstock in it, and each cube has a different thing, and I have those labeled. So whenever I feel like opening a new skincare item, I'll go into the skincare one and find a new moisturizer in there or something like that. I really should do a home tour for you guys, but I'm gonna wait till I move. I'm not gonna move for months because my house is being built. I don't like own the house. Well, I own the house, but I will not have a key for a very long time. So I'm not gonna move for a while, but I've been packing because it's gonna take forever to pack all my stuff. I think when I get settled in there, I'll do a tour and then I'll show you how everything is organized because I do have a lot of stuff and I feel like that would be a useful video. That's all our questions. Please make sure to ask new questions down below for next month if you have any questions. If you don't have any questions, that's totally fine. Or Google a question, make up a question, that's also fine. Thank you guys so much for watching and masking with me, and I will see you guys next time.